Hey guys, it's Gretchen and welcome back to my channel. So recently I finished up a rather large tattoo. It was my biggest one by far that I've ever had done. While I was getting it done, or while it was being finished up, I was thinking about all the tattoos that I've gotten over time, and I only have 9. Like I said, this is the biggest one, so by no means do I have a ton of tattoos. However, while I was going through the thought process of tattoos and the ones I have while I was finishing this one, I thought about what it must be like for someone who has never gotten a tattoo before and is curious about possibly getting a first tattoo and what they need to do in order to get to that point. And so I thought for today's video, I would talk about getting your first tattoo. Now this is not a prepare for your first tattoo type of video. Like, I'm not gonna sit here and be like, the night before your tattoo, don't drink. The day of your tattoo, don't drink caffeine and things of that nature. It's not that type of getting your first tattoo, because that's more of a just getting a tattoo. This video could also be for any getting tattoo, but this is really for your first one. This is where you really don't know much about the tattoo world and you don't know much about what goes into getting a tattoo. So I thought I would go over some points that I kind of wish I had thought more about when I got my first tattoo. Now, I love my first tattoo. Hold on, let me take off my watch so I can show it. It's got a line through it, so bear with me because I wear my watch on that wrist. But my very first tattoo is my book tattoo. And I was thinking about this the other day. I love my book tattoo. I really do. But there's some problems with it. The first one is that it is not an original design, and I absolutely hate that. It's tweaked a little bit, but I went into a tattoo shop thinking this was gonna be the only tattoo I ever got. And I was like, I found this picture on Pinterest and I want it on me. Most tattoo artists will be like, I don't wanna take someone else's work. But mine tweaked it a smidge and plastered it on my wrist. And I love my book, I really do. I really love my book. Other than the fact that it's not an original idea, and I guess it's hard to make an original idea from simple objects like a book, but it's also facing me. And if I had known that I wanted to get a ton of tattoos in the future, I would have had it facing outward. Like this tattoo, like my lyric one, it faces outward. My Celtic symbol over here, it faces outward. The rest of my tattoos on me face outward or downward, but my book does not. And so there are just some things to take into consideration before getting a tattoo. But this one is primarily for getting your first one because that's kind of the most important one if you think about it. It's like a gateway into the rest of them. So these are just some things that I've thought of when it comes to getting your first tattoo. The first section is research. You must do your research when getting a tattoo. Whether it's your first tattoo or your 50th tattoo, you must do your research. And what I mean by that is, and I have a list. 1, your idea. Research your idea thoroughly. Make sure that you're comfortable with that idea being plastered to your skin permanently. Your artist. Find an artist that fits your style, which is another research thing. Find your style. What kind of artwork do you like the most? What do you want on you? What do you want to represent? Placement. Think long and hard about placement, because if you want to get tattoos in the future, you're gonna have to work around that. 1, think about whether you want it black and white and color. I've got a mix right now just because I always thought I was just gonna get these little random pieces. I never thought that I would develop such a love that I just want it all over my body. Artists, when you find a good artist, they have ways of working around old tattoos to accommodate what you want moving forward. But you really should consider whether you are more of a black and white person or more of a color person. There's nothing wrong with having a mix of both, but some people kind of lean one way or the other. And finally, size. Think about the size of your tattoo. When I originally went in for my book, I was not expecting it to be this big. And I look at it now and it's tiny. I was expecting something right here, right in this little corner right there. But if you make it too small, it gets scrunched up and it may look fine initially and it may look fine for the first year, but then all of a sudden it starts to, There's really no other way to describe it other than So do your research, really think long and hard, get into it. Yes, you can use Pinterest. There's nothing wrong with using Pinterest to get ideas, but don't take someone else's idea and plaster it on your body. My next section is think about it. That kind of goes with the research, but really think about it. This is something that is permanent. This is something that you're gonna want in a year, in 5 years, in 10 years. You know, there's nothing wrong with getting a spur of the moment tattoo, but just keep in mind that you may want to get it covered up in 5 years, and that's perfectly fine. You just need to find an artist that's willing to do it. In 5 years, you may not want it at all, and you can get it removed, but keep in mind that there is a process. It's also more money. Think long and hard about what you get put permanently on your body. I like to look at it this way though. All tattoos are semi-permanent because we are not here forever. You're welcome. Yeah, that's a boost in the day. When it comes to getting your first tattoo or your 50th tattoo, you need to plan. You need to really consider how much of an investment a tattoo is. You need to think about, first of all, your appointment. A lot of artists book up really fast on weekends and in evening hours. You need to plan for an appointment. You need to plan for possibly taking time off. You need to really think about the time it's gonna take to care for your tattoo. It takes a while for a tattoo to heal, depending on its size. Not all tattoos heal the same. I will tell you, my very first tattoo probably healed the weirdest out of any of them. This tiny little thing peeled more than my crystal or my tiger the first time around. And my tiger's only the rest of it's only 2 days old, so it has not gotten to the peeling stage yet. But this one peeled so bad, I didn't think I was gonna have any skin left. You need to plan for that. You need to accommodate for the care that your tattoo needs. Sometimes you need to wash it during the day, and you may be at work. You need to plan accordingly. Which leads me into kind of preparing for your tattoo, which a big part of it is aftercare. Aftercare takes up so much time. First thing in the morning, you gotta clean it. You gotta moisturize it. Throughout the day, you need to keep it moisturized. In the evening, you gotta do it all again. And then even once it's healed, you need to care for it to keep the colors vibrant. When you go out in the sun, you must put sunscreen on it unless you want it to fade. You must always take into consideration your tattoos because they are a top priority to maintaining their aesthetic. I don't know, to maintaining them. These next two parts are more for like a new tattoo, not necessarily for once you've had the tattoo and once it's healed and everything like that, but sleeping and your clothing play a large role in making sure that your tattoo heals properly. So clothing, what I mean by that, if it's someplace like, we're gonna use my tiger as an example. I'm not gonna wear tight pants these first few days after it's been done because that can rub on the tattoo. That can constrict it, that can make it so it can't breathe. This is an open wound, it needs to breathe. So I'm not gonna wear something tight around it so that it can't. Same with sleeping. I don't wanna accidentally roll over on a open wound. I need to plan for how I'm going to adjust myself during sleep. I'm a side sleeper, normally. I can't do that with this massive, just hit it, ow. I can't do that with this massive tattoo that is essentially an open wound. It's actually looking really good though for being only 2 days old, except for the fact that I just hit it and it hurt like a son of a bitch. But I can't sleep on my side right now. I can kind of adjust some on my side, but not how I would like it. So I have to sleep primarily on my back right now with my leg propped up on a pillow. And I wrap it in saran wrap. Not everyone does that, but I do it for the first few days afterwards just to make sure that like blankets and stuff don't stick to it, don't adhere to the skin. Though I think it's gonna be fine now. Like, I'm kind of surprised at how smooth this is already. We're gonna leave it alone. But there's so many things that you need to consider with a tattoo. And this isn't to scare anyone from getting a tattoo. It's just to open your eyes to the fact that it is such a big decision. You know, if you get something tiny like this and you plan to stop there and that is it, you don't want to get anything else, that's one thing. But keep in mind that this was all I was planning on getting. And then I got my second tattoo. And then I got my third tattoo. And I just got number 9. And I have no intention of stopping because I already have an appointment set up in July for another one. So just keep that in mind when you go in for that first tattoo, that it's a gateway. So plan accordingly and really think about it. Like I said, I am by no means an expert. I'm just someone that likes tattoos. And these are things that I wish I had thought more about when I got my first one and even my second and my third one. They are just things that I think would have helped prepare me better than what I was. Not to say that I hadn't done research, but at the same time, I don't think I did enough. But that's it for this video. If you have any questions regarding tattoo care, or at first check with a tattoo artist, but feel free to leave me any comments or questions down below. I can comment to the best of my ability based on experience and experience alone. You know, everyone's experience with tattoos are different, just like everyone's experience with piercings are different, or everyone's experience with weight loss surgery is different. Everyone experiences differently. That was a mouthful. Experiences. But that's it for this video. If you enjoyed it, please give it a big old thumbs up and go on down there. Hit that subscribe button wherever it may be because I would really, really appreciate it. And until next time, bye guys!